I know, I'm live. I just hit the button to go live and I found all of, oh wow. I found all of these filters. I'm going to stop in a second, I promise. Wow. All right, they're at the bottom of the live screen. If you guys didn't know that, these are fun. All right, I'm going to shut them off now. Get serious. Hi, how is everybody doing? Thank you for answering the poll question yesterday. I put a poll question in the group and I asked, what's the number one issue that you're dealing with that you'd like me to talk about? And fatigue won. And I thought that was very fitting for this week, talking about fatigue. Wait, I can't see who's popping on here. Oh, that's because I still have my filters going. I don't think I can get rid of them. Oh, there we go. Hi, Vicky. How are you? If you're jumping on here, say hi. Let me know you're here. I was just playing with the filters. But anyway, so I posted a poll in the group, and the number one issue that people wanted to talk about was fatigue. And I get it. That is the most, I think, debilitating symptom. And it seems to be one of the first to go. Hi, Vicky. So that's why I think it's great that we're talking about it today, because honestly, the people that I've been working with, I'm going to give you guys 3 things today. Those 3 things are what I tell everyone to start off with right away, because it works so quickly. And all right, so it's all a balance, right? We don't know exactly what's causing our fatigue. It could be neurological fatigue. It could be your adrenals could be fatigued. So what do you work on? You never work on one specific thing. You have to work on balancing your entire body. You work on everything. So what do you do first? Of course, in my program, I give you a ton more detail and we work step by step, week by week. But right now in this group, I'm always going to give you stuff that you can start right away that's going to make a huge difference in your fatigue levels. Now, when I'm talking about different levels of fatigue, there's neurological fatigue, and that's what affects our neurological system. So the Epstein-Barr virus that causes MS and autoimmune conditions and hundreds of other things, that is a neurotoxin. The virus itself gives off a neurotoxin. The virus is alive. Everything alive has to excrete its waste. The waste of the virus is the neurotoxin, and that's what inflames the brain, and that's what affects our central nervous system. So there's that kind of fatigue. There's also adrenal fatigue, but your adrenals are part of your endocrine system. Your endocrine system is responsible for outputting all of your hormones that you need for every system in your body to work. That's a different kind of fatigue. And then there's the fatigue that I'm feeling today. I started a new workout program on Monday. The concept is 2 days a week, 15 minutes a day. Awesome, right? Yeah, well, you go to fail. You go to 100% until you fail at that exercise. So 15 minutes, and today's day 2, and I am limping. I'm so sore and fatigued. But again, there are things that you can do right away, no matter what kind of fatigue that you're experiencing. So what are the things that you can do today to start feeling better? I want you to know this first one that I'm going to give you, actually the first 2 that I'm going to give you, I had a client of mine call me and say, Janine, I feel like my arms are moving at warp speed. I go, what do you mean? She's like, everything's moving so quickly. She goes, but then I realized that I'm not moving quickly. I'm moving normally, the way most average people move. It's just that I always moved so slow in the past, and now I feel like I'm going all the time. And this is coming from a woman who was in a wheelchair. Okay, so the first thing, and I know you're going to think that it's very simple, and it is very simple, and that's why we think that, oh, this is so simple, it's not going to make a big difference, and we don't stick with it. You don't have to stick with it for too long to see results. You will see results right away. And I bet people can guess what I'm going to say. If you want to take a guess, put it there in the comments. Actually, you know what I'll do? That's the number one thing I'm going to say. Put it in the comments what you think I'm going to say, the number one thing to do for energy, and then I'll start with number 2. Let's make it fun. So, okay, so the number 2 thing is your celery juice. Now, the reason why you're in this group is because you have MS. The reason why you have MS is because you contracted the Epstein-Barr virus, whether when you were a kid or later in life. I'm in my 40s, and I know I got it when I was a kid because I was diagnosed with mononucleosis, which is the Epstein-Barr virus. Now, There are people who can say, well, I was never diagnosed with MS or mono, so I don't have the Epstein-Barr virus. You do. When the Epstein-Barr virus comes into your body, some people get the symptoms of mono and get diagnosed with the Epstein-Barr virus, end up in the hospital like I did, and months later, you're still dealing with the effects of fatigue. Epstein-Barr virus doesn't always present with the same symptoms. So my mono put me in the hospital, where your mono could be a runny nose and a sore throat, and you would never know that you had the Epstein-Barr virus. Not until later in life when you get tested and the doctor goes, oh, you have antibodies for the Epstein-Barr virus. You don't have it right now. That's not true. What happens is, in stage 1 of the virus, it's in your blood. And that's what medical science uses to test whether or not you have the virus. They test your blood and they go, yes, you have it, or no, you only have the antibodies. If you have the antibodies, you still have the virus, because stage 2, 3, and 4, the virus moves out of your blood system and finds a home to reside in. Wherever it finds a home will determine your symptoms, and that's what's going to determine your diagnosis. So our set of symptoms, we get diagnosed with MS. If the Epstein-Barr virus resides in your thyroid, those set of symptoms get diagnosed as thyroidism. If it's in your gut, it's Crohn's disease, and on and on and on. So the number one thing to do is remove your viral load. Your immune system is constantly on the attack. It's exhausting, and that's what's causing the chronic fatigue. That's one of the things that's causing the chronic fatigue. So what you want to do, okay, nobody commented on what they think the number one thing I was going to say, so I'll do this in order. So number 1 is your lemon water in the morning. The lemon water first thing in the morning, and I know I sound like a broken record, but that is going to be the thing that is going to skyrocket your energy. 16 ounces or more, half a lemon squeezed into water. Drink that before you do anything else in the morning. That's number 1. That is going to do so much for your body, because what happens is, you've heard me say this before, your liver wakes up before you do, and it starts taking out all of the toxins from your organs and getting it out of your system. That's why your morning pee is so dark first thing in the morning. It's all those toxins that your liver pulled out. So you drinking that lemon water is going to push even more toxins out, more of those neurotoxins that are in your system that is causing the brain inflammation, that is causing your fatigue. Now, you say, okay, well, I drink water, so it's the same thing. Why do I need to be fancy with the lemon? It's not about being fancy. What the lemon water does, what the lemon does in the water, is it allows the water to get absorbed through your gut lining and into your body and hydrate your organs and help release all of those toxins that are in your organs, okay? So the detoxing from the lemon is actually very important, because our water today is pretty dead. We don't have any of the life force that we used to have in it. So we need that lemon to bring the life force back into the water, to allow the water to get absorbed through our bodies so that it can push out the toxins. First thing every day, 16 ounces of lemon water. It's a half a lemon, squeezed in some water. That's it. You actually, once you start doing it, you're going to start craving it. I never thought that I would start craving water first thing in the morning, especially cold water. I always wanted my coffee first thing. It's amazing. My daughter does it, my husband does it, and I don't think my 18-year-old son will ever do it, because he's fine. He has no symptoms, clear skin, everything. So that's number 1, okay? Number 2, biggest difference ever. And again, I'm going to tell you before I tell you what number 2 is. I had another client call me and say she hadn't been able to sleep in years because her leg spasms were so bad. This is just one of the side effects of the number 2 thing that I'm going to give you for your chronic fatigue. Her leg spasms were so bad they keep her up all night. She said after 2 weeks of doing what I told her to do, no, it was 1 week. Sorry, she started on a Tuesday, and this was Friday's call. So on Friday, she goes, Janine, I cannot believe this. I'm sleeping through the night for the first time in I don't know how long. She said a decade. I'm sleeping through the night. My legs have calmed down. She goes, and I cannot, she goes, for the first time I can say I don't have fatigue. Can you move closer to the mic? Yeah, absolutely. Here, let me take my notes down and come over here. Okay, there we go. How's everyone else doing? Can you all hear me? Oh, no, I can't see my notes. Hold on. I got my little cheat sheets here of what I want to talk about today. Okay, I'll talk louder, and now I'm closer. Yeah, but now I'm closer to the camera. All right. So the number 2 thing is your celery juice. Okay. I know celery juice seems like a pain in the ass, and it is a pain in the ass until you start receiving those benefits, and it doesn't take long. First thing you do is the lemon water. Wait about 20 minutes. Let it do its thing. Oh, good, Arden. I'm glad. Thank you. Let it do its thing. Wait 20 minutes and then do the celery juice. Now, I brought with me. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, Brittany. I brought with me some visual aids today because I want to show you how to make celery juice a little bit easier to deal with in the morning, because we're all crazy in the morning. Even if you're not crazy in the morning, it's a pain in the ass to deal with. You got your lemon water, you got your celery juice, you got to clean the juicer. All right, so, and then they're like, oh, make sure you clean your celery really well. And then you got to chop it up, right? Here's a nice little hack. Costco. It's organic celery. It comes in this nice package. It's already chopped. Hold on. It's already chopped, and then the leaves are removed. You stick this right in the juicer. I know it sounds insane, but I drink this package every morning. No, 5 days a week. I do it 5 days a week. I take the weekends off. I still have my lemon water, though. I never take a day off of that. I mean, if you're going to, fine, but I never do because I feel like my liver didn't take a day off. So how hard is it for me to drink 16 ounces of lemon water? But if I skip the celery, I only do it on Saturdays and Sundays. So Costco, it's not much more expensive than the organic celery in your regular grocery store. Send it through the juicer, and sometimes I rinse the juicer out and I stick it in the dishwasher. Sometimes I just rinse it off and put it next to the sink, and then it goes all back together. You come up with a routine. So this routine is going to get you feeling more energy immediately. Thank you for the Costco idea. Vicky, you're very welcome. Any ideas that we can share in this group is absolutely necessary, because it is. It's not only a pain in the ass to do what we do every morning, but it's also expensive. It is. Now that celery that I just showed you is not much more. I think it was pennies more than if you were to buy it in the store. Plus, when you buy it in the store, oh, what do you add to the celery juice? Is bottled juice okay? Excellent question. Thank you so much for asking that. No, sorry. Don't add anything to your celery juice. You don't want to dilute it. Its effects are super powerful, but it can't be diluted. There are cluster salts inside that celery juice that get into your system and need to do their work in the form that they're in. So don't add anything to it. No water, no ice cubes. You don't want it diluted. It's at the most perfect concentration as is. So just drink it down straight. It doesn't matter if it's cold or room temperature. That I know. Medical Medium talks about this all the time. So if you want more information, just Google Medical Medium celery juice. He wrote an entire book on it, but you can find a ton of information online if this is the first time that you're hearing it. What else did I want to say about celery juice? That's about it. Some people who don't have a juicer, I recommend getting a juicer because it's a lot easier, but you could still send it through, put it in the blender and then just pour it over a strainer or squeeze it through one of those claws, one of those cheese claws. You can do that. Talk about a pain in the ass. Yeah, totally. But if you're determined to heal and you need your symptoms gone and you don't have any other choices, you're going to find a way to do it. So lemon water, number 1. Number 2 is the celery juice, and that's every morning. I do it 5 days a week. The third thing, now I want to give you another client perspective before I tell you this one. This one goes, I cannot believe, Arden, wait, hold on. I have to add some water because I have a blender and it won't work. Yeah, no, you're right. If you're using a blender, you do have to make some modifications. So if you're going to add some water in the blender, getting it in your body is better than nothing. But if you do have the juicer, don't add any water. You don't need to. Arden, I am so glad you're doing what you need to do to get better and see these results. Because, you know, it's great to have all the tools, but sometimes you don't. And when I was first starting healing, way back when my kids were little, my husband left, I had no money, the house was in foreclosure, I had thousands of dollars in utility bills that I couldn't pay. I didn't have the money to go out and buy a blender. I didn't have the money to go out and buy all of these supplements and do all these things that they told me to do. I did it, I jerry-rigged the whole process, but I did it, and I did it on no money because I figured I have to eat anyway, right? So if I have to eat anyway, I'm going to spend money on food or else I'm going to die. I'm going to make sure that everything I put in my body is going to heal me. So there's always a way to do it. When there's a will, there's a way. It's true. All right. So item number 3 for healing chronic fatigue syndrome. This is going to be a big one because this one I only found out about recently. Ready? Liquid B12. You think, oh yeah, B12, everyone says that I've tried B12. Yeah, I said the same thing. I'm like, oh no, I'm taking my B12. You know, I get plenty of it. I was taking the wrong kind. The B12 that we get in our vitamins that we, you know, turn over and you read and you're like, oh yeah, look at all those B6, B12. Your body's not absorbing it and it's not utilizing it because it can't. It's in the wrong form. These aren't my words. These are the words of the medical medium, and I had to test it out on myself. All the information that I give you in these videos is all the stuff that I've tested out on myself and I've given to clients, and then they give me the feedback. So B12 from Vimergy is the one that the medical medium recommends, and it actually makes a huge difference. So a recent client goes, I can't believe all these years, all I had to do was take a dropper full of B12. Vimergy, thank you. Yeah, it wasn't flowing off the tongue very easily. So this is what it looks like. It's a red liquid. You stick it under your tongue, and you kind of just hold it there and let it, Holly, hi Holly, you're welcome. You kind of just hold it there and let it get absorbed in. So I have another guinea pig besides myself. My daughter, my beautiful 15-year-old daughter. She has the Epstein-Barr virus too. These symptoms that she has are the same symptoms that I had when I was her age. I covered in acne, absolutely covered in acne. And that sweet little thing goes, Mom, I've seen what you've done, so just tell me what to do. So she's now on this regimen too. She does the lemon water in the morning. She's working on the celery juice. She's really working on it. She hates it, but I think it's because her body needs it so much. Normally, when our body needs something to heal, what happens is we take it in and our body's like, oh, we don't want this because all the bacteria and all the viruses are dying. So it feels like crap when we first start doing something that's good for us. You got to get over that hump. So what I told her was, I'm going to make her a shot of celery juice every time I make mine. And then she's going to take a shot down, and eventually we'll build up to that. Oh, Jane, hi, you're on. How are you doing? Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for letting me know that you guys are on here. I really do like it better when it's like a back and forth. That's why I love our Zoom calls. This is, it's different. I still like it. I like talking to you. So thanks for the interaction. So chronic fatigue. I want to make a little bit of a distinction here. We're not talking about the fatigue where when you go to sleep, you feel better. Fatigue is when, and you guys probably all know this for the people watching the video who might not, fatigue is when you sleep and you don't feel better. In fact, it makes you worse because now you got to build back up to where you were before you went to sleep. You're exhausted all the time and nothing helps. And then you think, okay, well, I'm exhausted. Why aren't I sleeping? You're not even sleeping because your body can't rest. It's not balanced. So everything that I teach in my program, it's a process that you build upon. I don't want you, I mean, if you don't work with me, fine, work with somebody, but find somebody who has this information, who can build upon each step. So I just gave you the foundation, the lemon water, the celery juice. That is the foundation that you start with. Before I continue, I want to go on. Holly, that was me for 12 years. Finally feel rested now, right? And I bet you were exhausted. Holly just wrote that. Sorry, guys. Holly says, that was me for 12 years. Finally feel rested. And that's what it is. You're so exhausted, but you can't rest. You can't sleep. And that's what chronic fatigue is. It's much different from just feeling tired. So I want to give you just a little bit of what the side effects are, because you can't do anything without side effects, right? We're a lot better than the medications, though. So if you're new to celery juice and you're like, you know what, this crazy chick Janine on Facebook, said something about celery juice. I'm going to go look that up and do it. So you look it up and you start doing it. And the first day that you do it, you're going to the bathroom. George, good afternoon, Ginny. Hi, George. Thanks for joining us. You're just in time to talk about poop. Yep, that's what we're doing now. So you drink the celery juice, right? And 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, your stomach's like, ooh, I had to go to the bathroom. Oh my God, I have to go to the bathroom right now. You go to the bathroom and it's water. Your body just evacuates. Now, normally we associate that kind of evacuation with like cramping, but there is no cramping with celery juice evacuation. It just happens. Yes, you do have control over it. It's not like you're not going to make it to the bathroom. You just know that you have to go. So that is your, don't get scared. That is your indication that there was a lot of viruses and toxins right in your gut lining, that the celery juice just exploded. It killed it on contact. The more diarrhea that you have, and it goes away, by the way. I don't want to scare anybody. So You drink the celery juice, you go to the bathroom, you're like, wow, that was complete water. That's completely disgusting and it stinks. Sorry, but we have to talk about this. But then as the day goes on, the next time you go to the bathroom, it's back to normal. You don't have any cramps. You actually feel pretty good, but it does go back to normal. But then when you drink the celery juice the next day, it happens again. If it doesn't happen to you, well, then your toxins are in a different place. They're in your organs and celery juice hasn't gotten to them yet. It will, but it won't cause that evacuation. You will slowly get rid of those because those are harder to get out. And plus they have a longer time to travel to get into the intestinal tract and out. So the celery juice, when I first started it, oh God, a couple years ago. Yeah, only a couple years ago, by the way. I didn't know about this in the beginning. That's a whole nother story. And I keep getting sidetracked. Hold on. So when I first started celery juice a couple years ago, it was months. It was months of every time. That's why I only did like 4 or 5 days a week, because every time I did it, I would be going to the bathroom. That's your indication that you do have toxins and viruses and that they're getting out. The celery juice is actually killing them on contact and it's getting out. The more you do it, I put way too much lemon in this. Hold on. That's a lot of lemon. I put lemon in my hydro flask and I drink lemon water all day long. So the most important part is to do it in the morning. If you can get it in your water all day long, then great. I go to work with one of these with the lemon in it, and then I come home and I put another one in and I drink 2 of those a day. So I actually do, this package makes between 16 and 24 ounces. It's different all the time. It all depends on how juicy it is. What was I saying? So the lemon water, the celery juice. So the celery juice side effects, I just want to let you guys know that is normal. It's actually really good and it will go away. Don't be afraid to stop the celery juice for a little bit. If that's happening to you every day and you're like, this is exhausting and I feel like I'm detoxing too fast, too hard, stop. Stop for a week, stop for 2 weeks. Get back to normal. Okay, get your energy. And then start again. When you start again, it won't be as bad. And every time you're going to build upon your success. You're never going to go back to the way you were unless, you stop the celery juice for years. So anyway, back to chronic fatigue. For those of you who are just jumping on now, I'll just review real quick. The 3 main things, because I promised you I was going to give you 3 things that you can start doing right away. Lemon water in the morning, 16 ounces, first thing upon waking up, okay? That's going to flush out all of those toxins, those neurotoxins that are caused by the Epstein-Barr virus that is causing our MS symptoms. The second thing is the celery juice, 16 to 24 or more if you want to, of celery juice at 20 minutes after the lemon water. That's going to kill the Epstein-Barr virus on contact, okay? Get that in you. And then I take this at night with dinner. I leave it on my kitchen table, and then after we eat, we pass around the vitamins. So 1 dropper full, so a whole dropper full of this. B12 under the tongue. All B12s are not the same. If you're taking a vitamin or you take your multivitamin and you read the back and you're like, I'm good, I have all my... Hi, Cynthia. I just saw you came on. How are you? All B12s aren't the same. So if your B12 and B6 is in your multivitamin, you're not absorbing it. Oh, that's what I want to tell you. So my daughter, she's my other guinea pig. That's what I started before. She tries the B12 and days later, not even weeks, days later, she goes, Mom, I'm waking up before my alarm clock. I cannot believe the difference I feel from just doing the B12. Tina, she was another one who said, I cannot believe the difference of the B12. Marush, these are all people in the group. Marusha, she's the one who said, I cannot believe how quickly the fatigue went away. She was dealing with so much fatigue, it ruled her entire day. And after she started the lemon water and the celery juice, she said the fatigue was so much better. She could actually do things in her day. So this is why, oh, Lana, sorry, I missed that. Will you sleep taking it at night? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't think the B12 keeps me up at all. Well, no, not at all, actually, because I take it right after dinner, watch a little TV, and then I go to bed. So I do take it at night. But again, everyone's different. I have heard of people having to take B12 in the morning because it makes them tired. We're all our own guinea pigs, so you got to test it out. I take mine at night. Take yours at night, see what happens. Take it in the morning. The lemon water and the celery juice, first thing in the morning is best because you're on an empty stomach. Now, everyone's schedule is different. So completely get it. This is not a rigid system. If you want to do your lemon water and celery juice at night, lemon water, I don't think there's any excuses for it. You could totally do that in the morning. But if there's for some reason you can't do your celery juice in the morning, as long as you have an empty stomach and you get it in your body at any time of the day is fine. Okay, so I don't want you to think that you have to turn your life up down and be so rigid, because we're not going to want to do anything if we have to, you know, treat it as like a part-time job. Yes, healing yourself is a lot, but what we do is we build upon the success of every step. So the reason why I created this group is because there are so many people out there who are healing themselves with food. They're getting off of their medications. They're doing it in a very smart way where they're building up their antioxidant levels and everything that I talk about in this group, and they're getting off their medication. It can be done. And that's why it's going to lead me into the stories of healing. The stories of healing that you see in the group is my way of showing you evidence to support that little voice inside of you that says, is this possible? Can I really do this? I want you to see on a weekly basis that it is possible. And how ironic, Mary, you just sent me a message. Mary Collins was the one that I interviewed last week. Great story. I didn't read your comment yet. Wait 1 second, Mary. She was diagnosed in 1995. Before the internet, she had absolutely no idea that this could be done. She took her MS from her diagnosis. Today, she's writing a book on how she healed her MS, and she did it all with food and by listening to her intuition. She's got a great book called Epiphany, My Story of Healing MS from A to Z. Check that out. Oh, you can't check it out yet. It's coming out, but we're going to keep posting it in the group, so when it does come out, you'll know it. Mary, what did you say? I don't have my glasses on. I love that idea of building upon the success of every step, literally and figuratively. Great stuff. Thank you so much. That means so much coming from you. It takes someone who has been through it to understand that you can't just go at this and say, I'm going to do this all at once, because you're not. You can't do anything like that. I always use the analogy of, you can't meet a great guy, right? Or sorry, George, or woman, can't meet a great person and go, I'm going to marry them tomorrow. I love them. No, you date them. You build upon the success of every level, and eventually it leads to that wonderful marriage. Now, I use that analogy because I am married to the love of my life. You'd hear in my story that it wasn't always that case. I was not married to the love of my life back in the day. So anyway, so when you're healing yourself, take it in chunks, chunk it down, start with your foundation, and build up. I'll be launching my program at the end of April, maybe the beginning of May, that will take you through the entire system. It will give you each module, there's 6 modules, will build upon the next. So you're not ever feeling overwhelmed. There's little chunks of things that you do, and over a course of 4 months, we're going to take you from point A to point B. Now, the reason why I say that is because point A is where you are right now, right? Point B is where you want to be. I can take you to point B, but I don't know how long it's going to take you. But I can promise you, after those 4 months of working with me, you're going to say, I got this. I can do this. The forest has cleared, and I can see the path. I'm on the path to healing. And that's the name of my program, Path to Healing. So with that, I just want to leave you with one more thing, because we are coming up to the end of the month. We have the MS monthly clearing group session coming up on April 25th. And if anyone's hearing about that for the first time, I will post the link down below. But healing is not just about food. It is. It's a huge spoke in the wheel, but so is your mind. You have to be clear and believe that you can heal, because so many of us, through our experiences from childhood to now, we have these programs that are running in the back of our minds that are saying, can you really heal? Is it possible? Do you deserve to heal? All in your subconscious mind. So what we do is, this is just for the Minding Your Soul members. This is for you guys who want to take your healing to the next level, move the needle a little bit further. We meet on Zoom once a month with Catherine Rose. She's a vibrational healer, and she works with us to not only identify the blocks, but to remove the blocks. And it is a really nice session. I really look forward to it. And so does everybody else, because what we do after that, that happens on the last Sunday of every month, and then the following Wednesday, rather than doing these Live at 5 trainings. What I do is we do a group Zoom. So you jump on Zoom, we talk about it, whether you're on it or not, jump on the Zoom, we'll talk. And I also live stream it into the group. So if you don't want to jump on Zoom because you're not having a good hair day, that's fine. Watch it in the group, we'll be there. Yes, please. That sounds amazing. Oh, good. Yeah. I'll put the link. I'll put the link and I'll tag you. Oh, Holly says, I love vibrational healing. Takes you to that next level. Yes, exactly. We're constantly building, 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 right? To reach our point B, our success, our point where we can either get out of the wheelchair, get out of bed, have people finally see us outside because we have the energy to go out there and go food shopping, play with our kids. That's where you can get to. You absolutely can. I created this group, and the reason why I do this is because I was laying in bed, paralyzed in my arms and my legs, praying to God that if He helped me get out of this bed, I would spend the rest of my life helping other people. And the reason why I do this group is because I didn't have the money to buy a program. I needed a resource. And since I didn't have any resources, I became the resource in this group that I always wanted. So in this group, stay in here. The information will always be free. I'm always going to throw stuff at you that you can use right away to start healing and to start moving that needle. And then if you want to take it to the next level, I'll have the program where I'll work with you one-on-one, and we will take it step by step. All right, everybody, there will be, if you have any questions, if you're watching this and it's not live, you're watching the recorded version later, put a comment in, put a question in, because I get the notification, so I can still answer them. I can still talk to you. And I'll put that link to Catherine's Vibrational Healing, and that's going to be April 25th. Now, she closes down a week before the registration because she needs that time to prepare. What she does is she takes our energy, she kind of connects into our energy and collectively puts together a meditation for us. She looks at what is coming up for our healing. The bigger the group, the more powerful the healing. So it's $52. If you want to pop in once, great, check it out, see if you like it. Then if you want to subscribe, you just pay the monthly subscription, it automatically comes out, and then you're on every Sunday. So I know a lot of people do that, but a lot of people want to say, hey, let me try it first. $52. All right, I'm going to stop talking now because I think the kids are at the door. I just heard them. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next week on the Live at 5. Okay, maybe we'll do another poll to see what that topic's going to be. Have a great night, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.